Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, just when you thought the incompetence was at an all-time high, and there was absolutely, positively no way the incompetence could get any higher. Deacons at Woke United Methodist, they send out a decree saying, think again. The popular opinion amongst half the country, or at this point, this opinion might be popular with 75%, maybe even 90% of the country, but at minimum, half the country believes that our fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden, is the worst president in modern history, possibly the worst president in American history. When you think about it, it's amazing that John Biden's had a political career that has spanned 6 decades. Johnny's always been a disaster. Didn't matter what position he was holding, college student, lawyer, senator, vice president, president, didn't matter. In every position, John Biden's found a unique way to be an embarrassing failure. My inside sources tell me, some people in foreign countries, they believe that John Biden is the operations manager in the WNBA dump. That's the only way they can imagine a basketball league failing miserably for 30 years. But what if I told you it could get worse? What if I told you it could get much worse? Believe it or not, there is someone that a lot of people believe to be more incompetent than Johnny B. Biden. And suddenly, deacons at Woke United Methodist, they are going into overdrive to get her elected. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Now, I'm sure some of you are probably wondering, KC, who could be more incompetent than John Biden? Her name is Kamala Harris, or as she is known here on the channel, Cam Harris or Cackling Cam. I know it's hard to believe that someone could be worse than Johnny B. Biden, but believe me, it's possible. I will give Cam Harris credit for one thing. She is an overachiever. When she sees someone lacking competence, she makes it her personal mission to put the N in incompetence. Over the last 3.5 years, we have seen plenty of blunders featuring Johnny B. Biden. But it's strange. We rarely see it from Cam Harris. Matter of fact, we rarely see Cam Harris, period. I wonder why. Over the years, there have been reports that the Biden administration has been hiding Cam Harris. When Donald Trump was president, we would see Vice President Mike Spence on Fox News. We would see Spence giving painfully boring speeches to the half dozen people that were willing to listen. I'll be honest with you, I think Cam Harris is a hell of a lot more entertaining than Mike Spence. Mike Spence, he could put a tweaker to sleep. If someone is allergic to anesthesia, doctors at Woke Memorial Hospital, they utilize the services of Mike Spence to knock them out so they can perform their surgery. When he was vice president, Mike Spence, he was allowed to appear in public. But with Cam Harris, we can go weeks, maybe even months without seeing her. I wonder if this is the reason why. Watch for yourself.
We invested an additional $12 billion into community banks because we know community banks are in the community and understand the needs and desires of that community as well as the talent and capacity of community.
I think that, to be very honest with you, I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled.
On this issue, for example, we applaud Germany in terms of what it has done as it relates to Nord Stream 2, as it relates to what we need to do domestically as well as what we need to do in terms of this issue generally. We have, as the President said, reevaluated what we're doing in terms of the strategic oil reserve here in the United States to make sure that it will not have an impact, or we can mitigate the impact on the American consumer.
We also recognize, just as it has been in the United States for Jamaica, one of the issues that has been presented as an issue that is economic in the way of its impact has been the pandemic.
Do you see what I mean when I say it could get worse? Cam Harris might not stumble over her words. Unlike John Biden, Cam, she might be able to complete sentences, but She's one of those people that says a lot without saying a damn thing. I remember a couple of years ago, the pretend vice president, she was talking about her love of school buses. She was so excited about these electric school buses and how great they were going to be for the environment. This is amazing! Now our kids can ride to school and they don't have to worry about climate change. They no longer have to worry about summer changing to winter. What about when it snows, Cam? Are these buses safe for traveling through the snow? Didn't you hear what I just said? It's not going to snow anymore. We have eliminated seasons. Right now, there is a full-blown panic throughout the mainstream media and the Democratic Party. I think they are coming to the harsh realization that they're screwed. You don't have to take my word for it. I'll let Van Dam Jones explain it. Well, KC, who in the hell is Van Dam Jones? His legal name is Anthony Jones. I'm not sure where the Van comes from. Maybe he was inspired by Chris Farley as a child and he wanted to live in a van down by the river, so he gave himself the nickname Van. Van Dam, he is a former member of the Obama administration. Van Dam, he was the green job czar. Translation, he was the guy the Obama administration put in charge of controlling the weather. He only held the job for a couple of months, though. But remember correctly, Van Jones resigned and he escaped from the White House in the middle of the night. He was exposed by Glenn Beck when he was on Fox News of being a radical. Now, I don't know if I would classify Van Jones as a Keith Olbermann level radical. Kitty poo! But let's just say Van Jones has a unique view of the world. Since his escape from the Obama administration, Van Jones, he's been a woke welfare collector at CNN, where he is responsible for polishing the propaganda turd. Last night, Van Dam informed the hundreds of viewers watching CNN that he's very concerned. He's worried about his long-lost friend, Johnny B. Biden. He's worried about the future of woke United Methodist. He's even more concerned about November, where it is highly likely that the election will be handed to Donald Trump. Watch for yourself.
Everybody comes on the air and says all this great stuff, but behind the scenes, it's a full-scale panic. People are passing around legal memos, PDFs are flying back and forth on WhatsApp, trying to figure out what are the options, how can you replace Biden, how do you get him to do it in a way where he feels respected as he should be respected, who should Kamala Harris's vice president be? The conversation on air and the conversation off air are completely different.
I could sit here for the next hour and show you the same exact fear on MSNBC, the same fear from other so-called experts at CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, USA Today. The entire woke media is in a constant state of panic. The problem the Democrats are facing right now, it is a self-created problem. Remember back in 2020 when Johnny B. Biden was spending the 2 hours he works every day, focusing 100% on choosing a vice president? With this being one of the most powerful jobs in the country, you would think Johnny Biden would be considering a wide variety of candidates. Deacons at Woke United Methodist, they gave John Biden a set of qualifications that he must follow. Basically, there were only 2 qualifications. The vice president had to be black and she must be a woman. Now keep in mind, this is the same party that pretends to struggle to identify a woman. So it didn't matter what type of woman was chosen. Rachel Levine, Charlie the Sheen, Chad Thundercock, didn't matter. The vice president had to be a woman. Due to these qualifications, Deacons at Woke United Methodist, they basically gave John Biden one choice for vice president, Cam Harris. And now they're screwed. They are stuck with 2 candidates that can't win. They are stuck with 2 candidates they don't want. This is pure speculation on my part, but I think part of the reason that we are seeing the mainstream media rapidly turn on John Biden, I think the media was lied to. I think the media was told by their sources that John Biden was different behind the scenes. He struggles when speaking in public, but behind the scenes, Johnny B. Biden, he is as fresh as a ripe cucumber. I think people in the media are outraged because they were lied to for 3 years. So now they are turning on John Biden. But here's the problem. It's too late to turn back now. It's too late. The only hope they had of beating the Trumper was Michelle Obama. She ain't interested. But even if Mike O was willing to run, it is damn near impossible to organize a campaign in 4 months. For a minute or two, the Deacons, they were flirting with the idea of Gabby Newsom replacing John Biden. That idea vanquished last week when Gabby was humiliated by Adam Carolla. I don't know how campaign finance laws work, but I read something last night where the Democrats, they might be stuck with Cam Harris because she's the only one that could be given access to the millions of dollars that John Biden's raised over the last 12 or 18 months. Now, again, I don't know if that's true, but it might be the reason that the mainstream media is suddenly getting behind Cam Harris. According to the Drudge Report, Cam Harris is the favorite to replace John Biden. Gabby Newsom doesn't have a chance. Gretchen Whitaker, or whatever the hell her name is, I think she's the woman that rides her broom around the governor's mansion in Michigan. She doesn't have a chance. Poor Robert Kennedy, he can't even get noticed by the mainstream media. They treat him like he has an uncurable case of stage 4 OMB. Orange Man bad! At the end of the day, though, their only hope is Cam Harris. Just think about that. Your only hope is someone who is less competent than Johnny B. Biden. I just think it's ironic that their standards of diversity, equity, and inclusion have come back to haunt them. This is what happens when you base hiring decisions on things like race and gender, instead of basing hiring decisions on merit. The mainstream media, they are pretending to support Cam Harris, but it's not authentic. Last week, it was being reported that they didn't want John Biden to step down because they were afraid of a Cam Harris presidency. Now, all of a sudden, the media is treating Cam Harris like the golden goose. According to Open Labs, as of right now, the election, it is going to be an absolute landslide. They have the Trumper winning damn near every state in the country, besides the lost causes like the People's Republic of California, New York, the sanctuary states that are now complaining about illegal immigration. Maybe, just maybe, this is the reason that we are seeing a constant state of panic throughout the mainstream media. Maybe they are coming to the realization that it's over. All right, this is going to be the only video today. We'll be back to our regular schedule tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoy the holiday. I'm going to try. This is my least favorite holiday of the year. Not because of the meaning of it. I appreciate that I had the right to complain about the 4th of July. I appreciate all you guys in the military who gave me that right to complain. This is my least favorite holiday because of the time of year. As you guys know, I hate summer. Summer is absolutely miserable down here in the South, but gonna try to enjoy myself today. Hope you guys do as well. In the meantime, give me your thoughts on a potential Cam Harris presidency. Does she have a chance to beat the Trumper? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.